Hey guys, Martin here from Big Boy Plants. So the holiday season is here, and guess what's the most popular plant during this time of the year? Poinsettia. I'm here with this beautiful species. Check it out. Perfect to give life and color to any indoor environment and matches perfectly with any Christmas decoration. So in today's video, we're gonna take a look at how to care for a poinsettia to keep it healthy and vigorous. And if you haven't bought one yet, no worries, you're still on time. So we'll also provide some recommendations for this. Stay tuned. And before moving on, I just wanted to say thank you because we just reached 1,000 subscribers in our channel. Thank you for your support. Thanks for watching our videos. We really appreciate it. We will still putting all of our efforts to keep pumping content every week, and hopefully you learn something new from this channel. Again, if it's the first time you're watching one of our videos, feel free to subscribe. So without further ado, let's jump into the details. So let's get started with watering. Water your plant whenever the surface feels dry to the touch. Water it until it drains out the bottom, but do not let the plant sit in water. Make sure the container has a hole in the bottom. This is important, and water in a sink as well, and let the excess water drain completely. If the pot is covered by the typical foil wrapping, remove the foil to allow the water to drain. If the plant stands in the water, the roots will rot, so you will want to avoid this. Moving on to temperature and humidity. Being a native of the tropical forest of Mexico, poinsettias need warmth. It can be kept close to a radiator, but it must be kept away from drought. That means no fireplaces, open doorways, open windows, or breezy hallways. If it's too draughty, this plant may start to lose its leaves. That being said, you should maintain a temperature between 65 to 75 Fahrenheit during the day, and keep in mind that a drop in temperature to about 60 Fahrenheit at night will not hurt the plant. Also, you might consider that cold drafts or allowing the leaves to touch a cold window can injure the leaves and cause premature leaf drop. Bonus points if you can provide good humidity levels, as they typically like humid locations, plenty of moisture. Now let's talk for a bit about light care. You could place the poinsettia near a sunny window. South, east, or west facing windows are preferable to a north facing window. Again, it's worth mentioning that poinsettias are tropicals and will appreciate as much direct light as you can provide, but be careful of not overdoing this because you can expose it to leaf burn. So for instance, I place it here, which is a window facing to the west, and it gets some direct light during the afternoon, but not too much. When it comes to soil and fertilizing, you can use a loose, well-draining, peat-based potting soil for your poinsettia. From right research, I found that it's better not to fertilize these plants during their blooming period. When keeping the plant throughout the year, begin fertilizing in the spring at half strength when there's no growth. You can feed it every 3 to 4 weeks. Now, you might be wondering what happens after the holiday season is over, and if you should keep in mind any special care to maintain your poinsettia and promote a new blooming period. Although we haven't been there yet, we researched and found that following these points should be enough for a good care. So to ensure it survives until the next year, you will need to prune your poinsettia in April to about 4 inches and keep it at a temperature of 55 Fahrenheit. Then repot in May and grow it in a cool and light place over summer, ideally in a temperature between 59 to 64 Fahrenheit. When November comes around, it is time to start forcing the plant a little bit, and it will require about 12 hours of bright light followed by 12 hours of complete darkness to alert it to the shorter days of winter, which will encourage the red flowers or leaves to flourish. Now, before we jump to the top frequently asked questions about poinsettias, let's go through some buying tips. Firstly, when going to a shop or supermarket, you should never buy a poinsettia that's sitting next to a set of automatic doors that open every 30 seconds, because it will have been damaged by the wind, especially during the cold winter months. A healthy poinsettia plant will have intact bracts. If the little yellow buds between the colored black bracts, the actual flowers, still look tight, then you'll know that the quality of the plant is good. If possible, check the soil before buying. It should be neither dripping wet nor totally dry. If it is, it's probably not given a proper TLC, so it might not last in your care. Finally, when you have chosen and bought your poinsettia plant, make sure to wrap it up in paper for the journey home to protect it from droughts and cold temperatures. This will also protect it from damage that it's initially invisible but can lead to premature loss of leaves after a few days. Last but not least, let's go through some of the most popular frequently asked questions about poinsettias. Question number 1. Why are my poinsettia leaves falling off? Well, environmental factors such as warm or dry conditions are most often the reason for leaf drop. Stress can also be a factor, so go back and check the recommendations we shared for proper and sustainable care. Question number 2. Does a poinsettia need direct sunlight? Well, as mentioned before, not necessarily. You should place them in an area where they receive a minimum of 6 hours of bright indirect light. Again, this may vary depending on the month of the year. So you can go back to the section where we mentioned what happens during the rest of the months, which are different to winter or all months. Then we have, are poinsettias poisonous? The plant does not have dangerous effects when eaten. This is weird, but in most cases, exposure in children or pets has little, if any, effect. If the sap is swallowed by some reason, it may cause mild irritation, maybe nausea, or in the worst case, vomiting or diarrhea. That's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. I hope that these recommendations are useful, whether you're growing or you're thinking about buying a poinsettia, especially during this holiday season. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. That will help us a lot to keep growing our channel and producing new content. And again, feel free to subscribe. Every time that we publish a new video, you'll get a notification. So I hope to see you again soon. Merry Christmas, but most importantly, happy planting. Cheers.